John from EastCoastArmory.com, and I'm here today with a project update video for this 1/6 scale Dragon M4A3 Sherman tank. Since the last video update, a lot of progress has been made to the model's rear wall, and we'll be going over these modifications and details in this video. For the tank's rear idler wheels, the kit supplies you with a very nice set of late pattern pressed idlers. The idlers on the kit are comprised of two pieces. You have the main wheel, and then you have inner backing for the back face detailing. Also on the original road wheel, there is a hubcap that's molded into the main road wheel face. Because though I went ahead and switched out the idler from the kit to the better detailed ECA ones, the kit idler wheels were no longer going to be compatible with the new set. So what I did was I went ahead and tooled up a inner bearing that reduces the size of the shaft diameter from the original kit to the 1/4 inch, which is used on the ECA set. This bearing here is a simple drop-in installation. All is that required is with a Dremel you remove the molded-in hubcap and you just insert the resin unit in its place. In addition to the bearing, the set also comes with the ECA hubcap, which once sanded down will fit onto the wheel like you see here. To install it to the ECA swivel plate, I went ahead and utilized the method that I use on all my 1/6 scale tanks, and that is the use of a small little pin. What I do is on the shaft itself, I go ahead and drill a small little hole directly through. Once the hole is drilled through, I sandwich the wheel in with a washer on either side, and with a piece of wire, I go ahead and spool the wire around and bend it and crimp it so that it cannot come loose. The advantage of this system, for one, it's very cost effective and it's very easy to fabricate. The other thing is that it allows the wheel to spin completely free and keeps it in place permanent, so you don't have to worry about the wheel ever popping off. The swivel plate itself will be epoxied to the idler mount after the tracks are assembled. This is because once the tracks are built, I could adjust the tension while the epoxy is still setting, and this track tension will then be set for the entire vehicle. The grill that you see here mounted to the model is actually the kit original component. The kit does supply you with a very decent exhaust deflector grill. It is literally a direct carryover from their 1/35 scale kit, and the piece is assembled in the exact same format. Also, if we notice, so is the lower pan, which was discarded in an earlier video. One problem I had with the grill, though, was that the grill itself was overscaled. It was too wide than it should have been. Because of my hull extenders that I added before, the kit piece could be used but had to have been modified slightly. What needed to be done to the grill was I had to cut the original sides off, shorten it approximately 1/4 of an inch total, or 1/8 of an inch on each side. Once the piece was shortened, I went ahead and then added some extra detailing to it. The kit does have the grill stop molded in as a piece of plastic that you just glue in, separately molded. However, that piece was discarded and a new one was fabricated out of brass. It comprises of the lever itself as well as a tube which the latch rides in. Also, what was used was that of the small little grab handle, which is used to rotate the grill out of the way. The grab handle is also what comes with the kit, but is meant to be glued in place. To mount it to the grill, I went ahead and fabricated a little missing section that would have been found on the actual grill work. This little section here is missing on the kit one. It was just a simple piece of brass that was bent, drilled, and glued back into place. It is this location here where the little handle mounts to. The little handle is now functional. Like I just mentioned, the entire grill on these Shermans are meant to fold and tuck into this portion here of the hull in order for the crew to get access to the rear portion of the tank, either to tension the idlers, get access to the engine hatch, or to get to the exhaust. The way this is done is there are two little straps that dangle down from the hull extenders, and they mount to the grill via fasteners. You simply just pivot the unit out of the way, and once the unit tucks into under the hull, you can now get access to the hatch. It is because of this feature why the grill work has this elaborate shape to it here. As we notice, this center portion here of the grill is indented compared to the outer two. This is again for clearance of the engine hatch. This little detail here is not commonly known by most model makers. Another portion of the grill that I modified was the addition of these two slots that we have here in the back portion of the grill work. These two slots are missing on the DML casting. Without the slots, the exhaust smoke would just bellow around this area here, and the grill would not be very effective. It's also incorrect to have it like that. So I went ahead and added the two slots via the mill, and it gives a lot better detailing to the model that we see here. The grill served two functions on the M4A3. It served as a way for the exhaust smoke to vent out of the vehicle, and it also served for a way for the radiator fans to blow out the hot air. Because on the M4A3 you have two very large fans in this look right behind this wall here, and that would be used to pull in fresh air to cool down the radiators. The air would then get funneled through the plate and out through the rear of the tank. Problem was that without the grill, the amount of volume of air blowing down was so great that it would kick up a large cloud of dust. This dust cloud can give away the position of the vehicle from long distances. So the grill was added as a way to vent out the radiator breeze so that it kicks up dust to a minimum. Moving our way to the model's rear track racks, the M4A3 was unique in it had racks in the back for fixing the VVSS track links to be kept on as spares. The DML kit does supply you with this component, however it's very simplistic and is very soft in detailing and wasn't used on this build. In its place, I went ahead and replaced the DML kit ones with the Resin functional set from EastCoastArmory.com. The ECA ones are fully detailed and are fully functional. Little straps open up, and you will then take the actual spare track link. In this case, for mock-up purposes, I used one of my spare 3-bar cleat tracks I had on hand. And you go ahead and slide the track link into the rack. Once you put the tracks back where they belong, you would simply fold up the two little straps, and there would be wing nuts that would be added to secure everything in place. The wing nuts will be added after the tank is painted. Also, as we can see, the track racks are a mirror image on the opposite side of the vehicle. Moving our way to the model's rear storage rack, the M4A3 was also known to have a sheet metal folding rack mounted on the back portion of the vehicle. The rack was hinged and is also retractable. Now again, like with the track racks, the kit does supply you with this equipment rack. However, as we can see from the kit one, it is very simplistic in detail and is very basic. It is missing a lot of the detailing that is found on this rack here. The rack that I used is the sheet metal one from EastCoastArmory.com, and it is fully functional and fully detailed. The rack, if we notice, has all of its tie-down footman loops soldered directly to the plate. It hinges boat upward, and it also folds in the retracted state. In addition to folding in the retracted state, if we notice, there are two little threaded rods that we have attached to the back portion. The purpose of the threaded rods is that when the rack is folded, these rods can be used to affix the rack together via wing nuts, and with the wing nuts on, it keeps the rack from opening up when the vehicle is in operation. Also, as we can see here, what's missing on the kit version of the rack is the corners have these little bends and grooves cut into them. This is a mirror image on the reverse side of the rack. The purpose of these two little indents is so that when the tank is in operation, we notice we have two threaded rods on hinged mounts over here. Purpose is that when the vehicle is in operation, you would go ahead and again with a wing nut, secure the wing nut to this point here, and by doing that, the wing nuts keep the unit nice and secure and will also keep it from flopping around when the tank is in operation. Another bit of detailing that's found on the ECA rack are the mounts for the gun cleaning rods, or as one of my viewers pointed out, gun cleaning staves. The way they work is this portion here hinges open, and you can then mount on the gun cleaning rods in this location here. If we notice, the mount location has a small little zigzag type pattern of steel running through it, and this little feature is found on the actual rack. As we can see on this portion here, where the actual swab for the gun barrel emerges, there are two little protective wings that protect it. All of these details, like I mentioned, are found on the actual rack on the real Sherman tank. Also missing from the rack at the moment are all of the wing nuts. Like I mentioned with the track racks, the wing nuts will be added after the tank is painted. Finally, the last bit of detailing that's featured on the ECA rack is a small little stop in the back. As you can see, the stop is pretty much just used to prevent the rack from bottoming out and keeps it at a nice level height. And that concludes this project update video for this 1/6 scale Dragon M4A3 Sherman tank. If you like this video, stop by and like us on Facebook. And don't forget to check out eastcoastarmory.com for more 1/6 scale tank builds, as well as other 1/6 scale detail components.